I need a new shop door. That one's terrible. It's made of metal, it's old, it's falling apart, and it's a massive thermal leakage point for my heated and air-conditioned shop. Seriously, look at this thing. It has no rigidity at all, and the core of it is cardboard. Now you might ask, can't you just buy a new door? And yes, but first, stop being no fun. But also, this is a non-standard door height. Most doors are 80 inches, this is 84 inches. So for example, on Menards website, I have exactly one door to choose from. So I'm gonna make my own door. This video is brought to you by Factor, ready-to-heat meals delivered straight to your door. The meals are conveniently delivered straight to you, so all you have to do is pick your meal, slide off the cover, and pop it in the microwave. And just like that, you have a delicious hot meal. This turkey and gravy meal was amazing, but it's all gone now. If you want to try Factor's amazing meals for yourself and get 50% off your first box, click the link in the description or go to Factor75.com and use code 50 DONE at checkout. Supporting Factor helps support me. Please do what I beg of you. I could just make a boring shop door, but I have a CNC router, so I'm going to zazz this up in exactly the same way I zazzed up the table my CNC router sits on, by making the bigger pieces out of smaller segments that are contrasting and interlocked together in a puzzle piece-like way. So I opened up Fusion 360, which I'm still terrible at and have to refigure out every time I opened it. But eventually I babooned my way into this design. Then I exported each puzzle piece of the door as a DXF that I could then import into VCarve for further modification. All I need to do in VCarve is radius all these sharp inside corners, because a CNC router can't cut corners like this, and all the corresponding outside corners where they're going to meet up into other inside corners on a different puzzle piece. There was probably a way to do this in Fusion 360, but again, I'm terrible with that program. To clamp these pieces down on the CNC router, I'll be using my Stepcraft vacuum clamping table to suck them down with the power of the atmosphere. I hate it. Mistake number one, there's 5 pieces here, there's 4 pieces here, 4 pieces here. I couldn't make it alternate properly. There's lots of OSB touching OSB, plywood touching plywood, etc. Not how I wanted it. Mistake number 2, the pieces on the bottom here fit together with interlocking circular shapes. The pieces on the top of the door fit together with interlocking random straight-lined shapes. But the pieces in the middle fit together with non-interlocking squares, which is terrible. They fit all loosey-goosey together. Putting this together and having it tightly clamped together would be a nightmare, and as it is unglued right now, I can just pull the door in half, which I don't like. I'm not happy with this, so I'm going to throw this away and start over with a completely new design. There. I like this better. All discrete rows, all interlocking, perfect alternating pattern. Good. The only problem with this one is that some of the plywood I use is a little bit bendy, but that'll be flattened out later. Just kidding, I changed my mind. I let that plywood sit for a little bit longer and all of it was crap. All of those pieces bowed. Some in both directions like this one. I didn't even know that was possible. So I threw them all out and remade them all in the flattest plywood I could find at the local store, which was maple veneer plywood. This is perhaps overly fancy for a shop door, but I did say I was going to zazz it up. Also, I've wasted so much engineered wood on this project. I need to bring all of these down to uniform thickness, and I like the look of shaved down OSB, so now I need to send each one of these through the planer. Now to move on to the inside structure of the door. I noticed while I was making those cuts that this started swirling over here, which just means my dustbin is full. Oh yeah, very, very, very full. I was going to build the door frame out of 2x6s that I started milling down, but I milled them down a little bit and they're very not straight. So rather than try to mash these into the shape that I want, which is not the shape they're currently in, I'm just not going to build the door frame out of construction lumber, and instead I'm going to use a different material. I had to trim these 4 pieces up here because of some compounding error issues, but otherwise, the door frame complete, mostly. It's not, like attached to anything, but pieces are cut. For the exterior skin of the door, I'm using the Zip System OSB because it's easily paintable and essentially waterproof. Now for the glue up, which will take what can only be described as too much time. I'm going to just be gluing everything down, laying it flat, and then using pin nails as clamps. That's it. It's going to take a while. This will all be covered and these holes will have insulation in them. Why yes, this is the same foam board insulation I was cutting the sheet goods on top of earlier. This foam sits just proud of the surface, and I found the best way to level it out is with a hammer. This is tedious, but it's a little bit of fun. And now to finish it off by gluing on the inside skin made up of these puzzle pieces I cut at the beginning of the project. This isn't working. There's no pin nails coming out. Okay, I think I figured it out. There we go. There we go. Now it's working. I did a little bit of a whoopsie on this top. Before I explain to you what I did wrong with it, first I'm going to sand on it a little bit. If I had laid down this top skin all at once, I would have been able to get it perfectly aligned with the door frame that it's sitting on. But I didn't lay it down all at once. I laid it down one short puzzle piece at a time. When I laid down this first piece, I thought it was perfectly straight, but it wasn't. It was very slightly askew, but I couldn't tell that until I got it right about here, where the error had built up enough for me to tell. But at this point, it was far too late, so I just kept going, and all the way at the top of the door, this door skin is off that way by about 1/8 of an inch. And there's another problem. The edges of this door are exposed OSB edging, and this is an exterior door that rain will touch. Luckily, these two different problems have the same solution. Cover it up. I got this aluminum C-channel to encase all 4 edges of the door. So to make this fit, I need to trim 1/8 of an inch off of each edge, and then cut a rabbet around the edge of each face, front and back, to account for the C-channel. This thing is a little chatterbox, so I'm ditching it for the rest of these cuts and switching to the big one. I managed to flush up this edge out of square, so I trimmed up that edge over there and then used a big old square, and now I'm going to square this edge up. Well, I accidentally ate through several pin nails with the router bit, but it didn't even feel them, so who cares? Oh, like a glove. Ah! I cut the miter in the wrong freaking direction! Hopefully I didn't just ruin this piece. I think I can still get the upper and lower piece out of this. This door ended up being just a touch thinner than the C-channel that I'm wrapping it with, so I've got the C-channel clamped on in such a way where the inside of the door is flush with the C-channel and this side protrudes just a little bit. Now I need to put some screws in here to secure it in place. Bit's not right. I got the correct bit this time, for sure. And then I dropped the screw. These screws aren't permanent. They're more for positioning and clamping than anything. In a moment, I'm going to remove these screws and then permanently affix this strip with epoxy. But first, let's make another piece. Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. It looks so much more finished than it is. I gotta take these back off now. I don't wanna. This is some Total Boat Thixo Flex I have left over from a previous project. This stuff goes into a regular caulk gun and mixes inside this tip. First thing you need to know about Thixo is the name is not inaccurate. A powered caulk gun is basically a requirement. Well, don't give up on me. I know this stuff is insanely thick, but come on, don't give up. Can you hear this? It's doing very little at a time. It's too much for this gun, apparently. And if it's too much for the gun, there's no way I'd be able to pump this stuff out by hand. I'm glad I started with the small piece. Ugh, that was horrible. All right, let's try my best to make a nice fillet of epoxy along the bottom. It's warm. That stuff's curing already. Just a nice little fillet on the bottom, like silicone, but permanent and very hard. That was awful. It's the next day, and because the Thixo was so incredibly Thixo, I couldn't do it by hand, and this caulk gun couldn't do it very well either. I brought the tube into my house overnight, which is at most 10 degrees warmer, but I figured it would make a difference. And right now it's sitting behind me, baking in front of an infrared heater. Hopefully it'll warm up a little more and make the next strip easier. I doubt it. You know, as annoying as this is to keep squeezing the trigger like this, at least it's still infinitely easier than using a manual caulk gun with how thick this crap is. Well, it didn't go super well. Sides are all glued on. This thing sucks. Next step is mortising pockets for the hinges. And yes, that does mean routering into aluminum. It'll be fine. And for a router template, I modeled and printed this unnecessarily brightly colored jig, which ended up being just a little bit too thin and flexes too much. So I changed the model and printed this, which is much thicker. Routing the aluminum was actually a lot harder than I expected it to be. The router bit kept gumming up with aluminum and chattering, and I had to keep cleaning off the gummed up aluminum. Thankfully, the solution was simple. All I had to do was lubricate the router bit with WD-40. After I figured out the process, cutting the remaining two mortises was easy. You may have noticed the mortises have rounded corners, but the hinges do not. I could only find the hinges with square corners in this size, and if this were wood, I would chisel out the corners. But it's not wood. So, whoa! I think my drill just died. It's literally pouring smoke out. And yes, I am just going to hold the trigger and let it die. I'm not changing the trigger. Well, let's see if I can finish this. Somehow it's working again, but it's really hot. To finish the exterior side, I'm just using regular old white latex paint. And the inside I finished with clear oil-based polyurethane. Don't do what I did. Don't apply glossy polyurethane with a roller. It looks like, as the French would say, le poupou. I had to sand down and refinish this what felt like a dozen times. It's still not perfect, but I'm tired of refinishing it, and it looks good enough. Oh, well, and immediately stripped. Time to break out the old left-handed drill bit. No, don't drill all the way through. You're supposed to grab. That also didn't work. Bigger drill bit. Please grab and unscrew the screw. Ah! Yes, this is what I wanted. Hey! Yes! I've made the new door just a touch heavier. I bet this weighs 3 times as much. Okay, this part's gonna be real fun. Lining up the door and attaching the hinges by myself. Okay, that was actually easy. All the hinges lined up perfectly, which is great. But I haven't closed the door yet. I hope it clears. Oh, yeah? I don't have a door handle on it yet. How do I get this open again? Now, I haven't put a doorknob or the deadbolt on it yet because I wanted to wait until the door was mounted to make absolutely certain that I was putting the striker in line with the latch. And I managed to avoid all the foam. Just shut up, you stupid bird. Minor problem. This is supposed to be a friction fit, but it isn't. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that at the moment. And that's the deadbolt installed. To attempt to fix this lack of a friction fit problem, I've printed this little shim here that is hopefully the right thickness, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. This is gonna require some hammering. Did that work? Just a little 3D printed shim in there, that's all it took. Off camera, I added some various weather sealing accoutrements to the door. It's not exactly airtight, but it's dramatically better than the old door. And you may have noticed the old door had a window, but the new door does not. And that's for 2 reasons. One, there's already a window right over there. Why do I need one on the door? And also, it's easier to not put a window in. I was gonna give this door a cool porthole window because I had some circular pieces of glass from some old light fixtures. But I ended up not doing that because I found out I don't actually have the glass anymore, I just have the trim ring. So scrap that plan. What this little project has taught me more than anything is that I'm terrible at context switching. I started working on this door and then had to stop working on it to go do something else, and then I forgot about it for a while. And then I came back to it, started again, then I had to drop it to work on something else and forgot about it a while. I did that a number of times. It is June 2025 now. I started working on this door project in September of 23. That's how long this has taken me. But anyway, it's done now, and now I have a door that's functional, that I don't hate. Good job, me. Thank you for watching.